Mark, really difficult result to take. What's your first thoughts on that?
First thoughts, Chris, are of anger, and I share the fans' anger, the ones who travelled up after the game. I mean, they've probably sat through it, and for what they feel probably far too long now, and still learning about this group. I saw things today that really sort of hit home to me. The fact that you can go from a situation where I feel we come very, very comfortable in the game at half time, could have possibly been 2, maybe even 3 goals up, and then you hear players saying all the right things, and I'm sure at times in the dressing room at half time they mean it, but the dressing room at half time is a safe place for them, isn't it? And then they go on the pitch, and that's where the microscope and the spotlight goes on them. And I guess to sort of sum it up as well, it was, we gave away a terrible goal. We lead in and no real problems, and we gave away a terrible goal. We started poorly, the start of the second half. People making wrong decisions at the wrong times, putting ourselves under pressure needlessly, and then the goal that we gave them. And to be fair, I haven't seen it on television or camera yet, but from what it looked like, it was just a very poor back pass. And then I was going to say it's a human reaction, but with what's gone on here over maybe the last 6 months or whatever, you can literally see the confidence draining out the players in front of your eyes on the pitch, and that's where they've got to show more mental strength, more resilience, more heart at times. I'm not going to sit here and name names or anything like that, but because it's not all of them. There's individuals who will give their all and fight for the cause and be brave, try and get on the ball and be brave. It's been said many times that for players, people talk about making challenges and winning 50-50 challenges and tackling. Yeah, that's brave, but it's just as much, perhaps even more bravery comes into it when things aren't perhaps going for you. You've got to get on the ball and keep wanting to get on the ball and keep trying to play the right pass instead of maybe just kicking it away at times and conceding possession back, all those things as well. So we've got a huge job on our hands now, but let's see what goes on the next. We've got 3 games. One of them, and I say luckily on paper, is against Fleetwood. That obviously it's a must-win game, but so if we do that, then it very much helps our position. But first and foremost, we've got to go into Wickham, which is a really tough game. See, they won today. We've got to make sure we go into Wickham on Monday and show those signs that I'd seen, and I'm sure the fans had seen in those sort of first 3 games I was here at Sheffield and Charlton and last week at home game as well. They've seen, I'm sure the fans have seen that, and I had hope, but unbelief. But for some reason today, second half, when it started turning against us, and you're looking for the majority of the team as a whole to galvanise themselves and get together, too many of them went missing.
I suppose it's even tougher for you to take after what was such a good performance on Saturday,
yeah.
as you quite rightly say.
Genuinely, Chris, I didn't want to contradict myself here. I didn't see that coming, but obviously, with a group of players that's been down there and hasn't won for so long, I suppose, yeah, they've got that second half in their locker, so to speak. You know what I mean? That I hadn't seen it until today. That's why for me it was such a shock. But we've got to come back. We've got to get ourselves together and make sure we're mentally prepared for Monday's game. Because I've said many times, in a bad way, football has a habit of throwing up things and kicking you when you're down. But it can also be in a good way, that just when you think things can't get any worse, things can turn. But we've got to make sure we try and turn it.
It's sort of a tough question to ask, but we keep taking the lead. I think it's just a case of getting a second goal as quickly as possible, really, to sort of give ourselves more of a foundation.
See, the 4 games I've been here, we've come from behind twice. At Sheffield and at Charlton. Yeah. We took the lead last week against MK, and that was a different sort of game because they're a quality side, which shows where they are in the league. But today, yeah, in a strange way, when we took the league, you're thinking, we need another one. And Sam had a great chance there just before half time that the keeper saved. I think he had a chance in the second half. Eggle came on, had a chance in the second half. So we've had the chances to do it. But gosh, I mean, the 2 goals. The third goal is, to me, I don't even look at that, because it's the 95th minute and we're charging forward, taking enormous risks, and you see that every Saturday in different leagues up in the country. Teams really stretching, trying to get that equaliser, and you get caught. No, they're not got a problem with that. The 2 goals before that, it's just, first one was a real poor back pass, poor judgment, and the second one, from what I can see, we've got 3 or 4 bodies on the ball, people being tentative, standing off and not making challenges, you know, and then it ends up in the back of your net. So we've got a really important 2 days ahead of us in preparing for Monday to make sure we get. I like to see players playing with anger. I think players, if they're angry, they play better. And we've tried to get some anger back into this team, because they owe it. They owe it to themselves, they owe it to the club, and they owe it to the fans.